Hey everybody, welcome in to episode 13. Today we're going to be discussing IBS-C. It's a rapidly growing epidemic affecting tens of millions of people, and I have it. And we're going to discuss all the things that go along with it and how dehydration, electrolytes, and trace minerals play into it. But we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to have Dr. Whiting kind of interview me about this hellish experience that I'm going through.
And indeed, it is much more complicated than most people realize, and I think maybe even most physicians realize. It has come to my attention over the last year or so that there are a lot of things that physicians are not informing patients who have this problem properly. And those areas are dehydration and, of course, electrolyte and other trace mineral depletion, which goes out with the fluid. You see, how these medications work is they draw fluid from the soft tissues of the body, and that fluid is then accelerating its elimination, and along with it go electrolyte minerals and other trace minerals. So, and dehydration can be a rather unpleasant experience. So, you were diagnosed with IBS-C, almost 19 months ago. Yeah. What has been your experience so far?
Well, it is pure hell. I think that the word IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, is kind of silly. And I think that adding the C to the end for constipation is also kind of silly. Because I think that the majority of Americans at some point in their lives are going to have IBS, and at some point in their lives are going to be constipated. Those two things, there's millions of people living with them that are perfectly manageable. But IBS-C is different for almost everybody that has it. And I have the version that if I do anything wrong, get overheated, get too angry, get too happy, get too excited, eat the wrong thing, which I can't eat anything compared to what I used to eat. And it all happens overnight. If I do any of those things, I have extreme full body pain, head to toe, 24/7. And when I first went into this 19 months ago, you could see that they didn't know what it is. And at first they think you have cancer. So they want to do all the cancer tests, and colon cancer, blood cancer, bone cancer. And once they clear all of those up, they finally come to the term that you have IBS-C. And you get to try to manage it. And if you Google it, it will say origin unknown. And if you ask most physicians, they will completely admit they don't know what it is. And the protocol is a medication with an antidepressant, and which to me is kind of reckless, but hey, I'm not the professional. The antidepressant didn't work, and the first 6 pain medications didn't work because I'm allergic to them, and I'm allergic to many medications. So for somebody like me, I am really in between a rock and a hard place, and that's kind of been my whole experience.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us a little bit about the medications. There's a few different ones. There's one primary one used here in the U.S., and they have a couple of others that are showing promise that are used in Europe, primarily Switzerland. So how do they make you feel? What do they do? Do they work?
Well, the antidepressants seem to, I don't know the science of it, but they seem to take away some of the full body pain. There's some kind of way that it does that. But the side effect from the antidepressant of being extremely happy for the first couple months and then it getting very dark was very scary. So then I had to get off of that. And then the pain medications they give you to go to sleep, I'm either allergic to most of them, or most of them make me feel so bad that it's no better than the condition itself. So the thing that I think we're discussing today is Linzest is one of the main ones to help out and to do that drawing of the water everywhere into the body to take that pain off. But Linzest takes all the water from all the organs, and then I couldn't sleep because I couldn't take the pain meds. But what I learned was I was having dehydration to where you're so dehydrated you have insomnia. So that was the next step that I had to tackle in this situation.
Yeah.
And we combated that. I first combated that with Pedialyte that was unsweetened. And, you know, some people can drink coconut water for dehydration. Well, I'm kind of allergic to coconut water, so I can't drink coconut water. So I had to drink unflavored Pedialyte. And then, lo and behold, Dr. Whiting said, well, if the Pedialyte's working for you good, why not try some of the best trace minerals? And I did, and it made it even better.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't realize, and we're going to be getting into that later on in this series today, but what people don't realize is that the human body takes in and it expels. And that's going on constantly. And just think if that didn't happen, well, you'd become toxic and poison yourself in a matter of days.
Yeah.
So it is important that the body can do that. But if you're taking a medication such as the ones that are being used, it accelerates the displacement of minerals and subsequently dehydration. In addition to that, which is significant enough in itself, do you think that there are other things that physicians miss in advising patients of these, what they should be aware of?
Well, I think they should be aware of the B complexes for stress, because this is obviously something that puts your body and your mind through a lot of stress. Going from a functional, healthy, productive, extremely health-minded person and changing them like that into a just not even half of what they used to be. I think they don't know. And I think that's why they say what they say and they prescribe the things like antidepressants or like these extreme pain meds, which are probably very helpful for people that can take them, but I can't. And so along the lines of supplementation, B complex, calcium, magnesium, both magnesium, citrate and
glycinate.
Yeah. And then if you can take it, probably a probiotic or something like that. But I was already doing all those things, fiber and probiotic, before all this happened, and now I can't do those things. So it's a lot of learning, and it's extremely frustrating sometimes. But I'm still fighting. I'm still getting through it.
Well, and I think because there's so many people that suffer from this, I think the message we'd like to leave them, if they're watching this, because they too have it, is that it's a long road. It's a longer road for some than for others, but there are ways around it. And if you're taking the conventional medication, which I believe is Linzest, and it's not working for you or not working well, there are some options that are available that are much lesser known here in America, but you can seek them out and give them a try. And so hang in there.
and what I did was I researched what I had a tip from a friend, a young friend, that said, hey, you should try to see how they're treating this condition in Switzerland, since Switzerland has the best healthcare system that there is in the world. And I did it, and lo and behold, I found is Ibsrela. It's Ibsrela, and it's very new here in America. It's so new in America that when they filled it at the pharmacy, they didn't know what it was. And so she had to research it before talking to me, which was good because I wanted to know the research and how to switch from Linzess to that. But it's showing a lot more promise, and I'm here talking to Dr. Whiting with you on camera. So this is obviously somewhat of a good day.
It's getting better by the minute.